Line that audio up. Line it up. Seriously, do it. Alright, I'm talking about my first release, my debut release, my self-titled release. It's that release right there, that one right there. This is vinyl of it right here. You see that? You see that? Vinyl. More on that to come. More information on that to come later. It actually might already be out. I can't, based on when this video comes out, it might already be out. It might not be, though. Whatever. My name's Aiden. I'm talking about my very first release today. All the things I kind of want to say about it. I want to wrap up sort of that world. The world of the first record. We've been in it for maybe 2 years, maybe almost 3 years, I don't know. The album was released back in February of 2023. So a long time ago. That's a long time ago. I got my checklist of all the details I want to kind of touch on. And, I don't know, let's start off with why I kind of wanted to first put out a record, put out an album, put out a collection of songs. I think I was maybe 15 when I had the idea. I was starting to record stuff, starting to try and write stuff, and I just had this idea, like there's nothing stopping me from just putting my work out, putting that stuff out. So I kind of just took it on like a challenge, I think I said something silly to myself, like this time next year I'm gonna have an album out or whatever. Didn't work out like that, but I took it seriously. I went down that path. And at that time I was like a novice in writing music and recording music. I didn't know much about it, but the whole album was born out of like curiosity and experimentation. So I think I was determined, I wanted to do it, and I set my mind to it, and I did it. And like what did I say here? Covers were my starting point. I was learning a lot of covers, learning a lot of music from other people. And I made that, like, I just knew I had to do something else. I wanted to start making my own music, because covers, they don't only get you so far, maybe get you a couple views on a video, but really you're just riding off of someone's success. And I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to be a real artist, be my own self, I don't get the same amount of views I do from covers, but that doesn't matter to me, because it's about growing. It's about staying committed and disciplined. And that's how you're going to meet those goals. But anyways, kind of getting back on track. Right here I said, yeah, making an album was me trying to be like that real artist. At first I didn't really believe I could do it. Like what I said, the idea felt a little bit foreign. I've never done anything like that before. But I was determined, and I needed to do it. I learned a lot from doing it. About recording, songwriting, song structure, writing lyrics, even, the graphic design elements of it, like making a record. That came a little bit later, but but I'm kind of trying to sum up the past few years this record's been out, and I haven't really moved on because I needed to take time to kind of develop as an artist. And now the music videos for this are coming out, vinyl's coming out, CDs are coming out, and I'm ready to kind of move with it. I took some time to kind of figure out who I was as an artist, and I'm back now, and I'm kind of gonna try and... I'm back now from kind of when this first came out, and I'm trying to give it the love it needs, the promotion it needs, and we're doing it, but yes, sorry, I keep sidetracking. I'm gonna try and do more videos like this, but I'm certain that this isn't gonna be my best sit down talking style video. It's the first one I'm ever doing, but you know, there were songs that were re-recorded on this record. Some were kind of scrapped completely, not scrapped, but like didn't make it. The whole album did kind of feel like an accident. Like I kind of just fell into doing it, and I fell into doing it, and I think I said it earlier, it was born out of curiosity and experimentation. Like I was experimenting for this record. True experimentation. And when I finished it, I kind of felt a little bit like an imposter. Like I felt, the whole goal of the record was to become a real artist, you know? Become a real artist. But when it came out, I think I felt a little bit like an imposter, you know? And only now I'm starting to feel like an artist. And this goes back to, I kind of needed a little time and to kind of figure out who I am and what I'm doing. And now, you know, music videos are coming out for this record. Vinyl's coming out. I want to put out a CD for it, you know? And I'm like learning that mistakes are okay. You know, my projects now are coming from creating every day. Whereas this, it was a clear set goal and I needed to finish it and do it, and it was a little too tunnel vision. Now I feel like I'm more open. I come in here to this music space I have, and I just create. I create every day. I try to create every day. And mistakes come with that, you know? Here is an example. On this record, no spelling mistakes, but here it says side 2, the catalog, which is track 1 of side 2, and there just isn't a 1. There's no 1. Like it's Tyrant 2, Mutual Dreaming 3, Polypog 4, Catharsis 5. It's just catalog. Like there's no number. Like, so it's like a little mistake like that. Like I'm gonna have to go and fix that and re-upload the artwork for the record. But you know, there's something special about it. Because you know, this is the very first record ever. And it will be recognizable that it's the very first record ever because it's missing the number. And that's something I've learned recently, is seeing the beauty in mistakes, seeing the beauty in the imperfections. You know, that's beautiful because now there's not gonna be another one like it. And it's the first one. And it's recognizably the first one ever because there's mistakes on it, typos on it. And I kind of love that. And I have no idea how it got through that like that. Like I spent hours in Photoshop. I even like not proofread, but like checked it 1,000 times, and it's so obvious. and only noticed it now when I ordered the record and it's ready to be sold. It's kind of funny, but yeah, you know, there was a lot of good things that I learned from making the first record. You know, what I loved from making the first record was the feeling of fulfillment. I realized, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I love. And I want to do it right. I want to live that artist's life. And again, going back to it, took me a long time after putting out the record to figure that out. But I felt alive during the process. And now every day when I create, I feel alive. Sometimes you don't. But it's that dedication aspect now. I surprised myself. I made something truly great, in my opinion. And I learned that I can do stuff that I set my mind to. It's hard work. That's simply it. It's hard work. And not underestimating yourself. Truly, truly, I'm proud of the work I did. You know, I wish, you know, there's tons of things on the record that I wish I could change. The songs themselves, no. I'm happy with the songs I wrote. But little things like in the mixing, like, oh, snare drum could have been up a bit here. You know, I wish I had real drums. You know, I recorded the drums on like the electronic drum kit I have, but I don't regret anything. I really am proud of it. I truly am. And if I were to give advice to my past self, it would be, don't stress it. You know, I wrote it exactly here. Don't stress. Keep it real. Don't obsess. Accept the process. And that's really only what I'm doing now. And, yeah, I think that's really good advice to anyone. You know? But yeah, like, yeah, there are things I could change. Wish I could change. Things that I should change. Like the thing there. And I still gotta remember, don't stress it, keep it real, don't obsess, accept the process. It's great advice. Any advice I'd have to others, you know, here I wrote a couple things. My first video, so I kind of have some notes. Can't just go off the cuff. Covers are good. They're good learning tools. Like, everyone needs to learn songs to kind of learn how to play. But they're not everything. And there's a certain point where people are going to respect the artist more than the guy who can, you know, shred like fucking crazy, you know, on the guitar, you know. I can't do that, but I write songs, and some people like them. Some people, a very little amount of people like them. But, originals test you as an artist. So, yeah, release your own stuff. If people don't like it, who gives a shit? Keep putting it out, because eventually you'll get better. And eventually at least one person will like it. I wrote here, don't chase ideas that aren't real. Let the music be what it's gonna be. And that ties back into accepting the process. Sure, there's certain things that you're gonna want to change and stuff, but don't get sucked into continuously changing stuff, because that's kind of driven by fear. I think that's driven by fear, and driven by worrying what others think. That's something I had to deal with when making this. I didn't let it affect my writing It maybe affected my mixing a little bit, but you can't let others control your artistic views, your creativity, because then it's not your creativity, and you aren't an artist. You know, you have to say something unique, and you can't say something unique when you're worried about offending people, making people uncomfortable, or people not liking it. I'm still working on letting that go every day. And what I like to do is just, a little bit of like a 1, 2, 3, all right, post it. And like, just kind of jump into the deep end. Rip the Band-Aid off. It works great. And then there's people who are mean, and then there's people who are nice. And I find usually the people who are nice outweigh the people who are mean. So yeah, don't give a shit what people think. Alright, last thing, kind of like, I don't know, the future. What's going on? I got a few projects. Music that's gonna come out soon. I want to do more videos like this where I'm sitting, talking to the camera. They're gonna get better, trust me. Right now I feel like my audio is really shit. This is me re-recording this video because it was way too long and the microphone was too quiet and there was a gate on it, so it was cutting off some of my words. Yeah, so more YouTube videos and stuff like this where I'm just talking about creativity, art, sharing my music. I mean, I'm making a few more music videos. There's projects coming. Won't say anything more than that. They'll come out when they come out. Yeah. It's probably a really bad video, but I don't care. I'm doing it for myself and keeping it real. Alright. Yeah, see ya. Bye.